All right, you guys, we are going to be going over the top of the hour strategy today. Shout out to everybody that's been involved thus far in the free trial. Shout out to Jay for allowing this opportunity. We have combined our strategy. Shout out to Jay. Me and Jay have been working together for quite some time. We actually kind of started this journey together as traders. But not too long ago, I noticed Jay that started into trading futures, which is a blessed thing. This is a blessing for a lot of you guys. Hopefully, you will be able to take the bulls by the horn. This strategy that I'm going to share with you today is going to take away a lot of the noise, a lot of the stress, a lot of the heartache. We have probably one of the best, if not the best, toolkits that you can utilize on all assets, whether it's Forex, futures, binary options, crypto, or stocks. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you a powerful strategy that you can utilize at any given time of the day. Everybody's trading style or trading journey may be a little bit different. So with the strategy, what we want to do is we want to make sure that you guys are on the right side of the trade, no matter what time of day that you are actually trading. Well, we got a couple people that's coming in. So we've noticed quite a few people have different trading days. Some people trade at different times of the day. So instead of trying to force your way into the market and being unsure of what to do when you're trying to trade, depending on your the time of day that you're trading, we want to make sure that you guys are making the best possible trades, or at least the optimal trades. That way you can get on the right side of the trade and make profit. So with the strategy, I'm going to break down. This is our PDF. I just shared it in the group. If you don't have it, just message me. I will send it to you. Here's a checklist. We got this from Top Step. Shout out to Top Step. We kind of utilize that as a template. But here is the top of the hour trading strategy. So if you do not know, there are multiple sessions that we trade with, right? So you have the New York session, you got the London session, you got the Sydney session, you have the Asian session. I want you to think of it as the banking system in New York or in the United States on the Eastern Standard Time. The banking system opens up around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Between 9 o'clock and 9:30, they call it opening bell. You're going to get a lot of volume. That means a lot of the institutions are starting to place orders at the beginning of the day. Now, if you do your top-down analysis, you can look at your monthly chart, you can look at your weekly chart, your 4-hour chart, down to your 1-hour chart, just to get the top-down analysis for those Forex traders out there that understand market structure. But overall, we want to make sure that we are following the money. The banks trade at specific times of the day. And some of you may know that the banks only trade specifically utilizing a certain time period. So if you're in the New York session, or if you're in the United States, then of course, our banking system is open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., which is your New York session. In London, being that the London session is a little bit different from the Eastern Standard Time, it is going to be 2 a.m. in London. I'm sorry, it's going to be 8 a.m. in London, but it's going to be 2 a.m. in Eastern Standard Time on the United States. So it's in the middle of the night for us, but in London, it is their start of their banking system. So you're going to get a lot of volume coming in during London. And it's the same thing for Sydney. It's the same for Tokyo. Make sure everybody gets in as they're coming. So I want you to think of it. If you are a banking investor, or if you are working for the financial institution, when do you actually take a trade, or when do you close a trade? This is what we're going to go through, and we're going to take advantage of on this top of the hour strategy. Because every single hour candle with this strategy, we're going to show you that you will be able to take advantage of every single hour candle, because the banking institutions does not trade lower than the hour candle. Most of them only trades on the 4-hour, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly for their analysis. But when they put the orders in, they are not putting orders in at 9:50 a.m. They may be closing orders at 9:50 a.m. But when they're mitigating orders, when they're putting orders on these blocks, they're doing it based off of the hour candle. So every hour, you're going to get volume. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you guys how to take advantage of each hour candle. That way, you do not have to force yourself into market. Depending on your trading style or your trading time, you may only be able to trade in the evening. And if that's the case, we're going to show you how to take advantage of those hours that you're able to trade based off of the top of the hour strategy, because every hour candle, we're going to give you a zone. Every hour candle, we're going to give you a zone. And being that we're trading futures, now if we're trading Forex, some people may be used to swing trading. Some people may be comfortable with swing trading to where you're holding trades for days or even for weeks, especially if you're trading stocks. But unfortunately, with futures, you cannot hold the trade more than 24 hours. You have to close your trades at the end of the day. So, and within that case, if you're trading futures, we want to make sure that we're taking an advantage of smaller time frames because we cannot hold the trade more than 1 day period. So we're going to take advantage of every single hour. Every single hourly candle has a range. It has a theory of a range where you're going to get an open, you're going to get an ultimate high, an ultimate low, you're going to get an open, and you're going to get a close. Within this range, if you're trading within this 1 hour candle and you're basing it off of higher time frame analysis, you're looking on the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, and the monthly. Therefore, you're taking advantage of higher time frames for swing trading. But if we're trading futures, we want to take advantage of whatever's inside this 1 hour candle. And we're going to show you how to do that in a second. This is the PDF. So banks and other financial institutions frequently engage in trading at the top of the hour. I did not write this by myself. I got this from verified sources, right? So I just copied and pasted what they said. Banks and other financial institutions frequently engage in trading at the top of the hour for several reasons. One of them is liquidity. This time typically witnesses a surge in liquidity as numerous orders from various global markets and institutional investors are executed simultaneously. Number 2, market openings and closings. Major stock exchanges such as those in New York, London, and Tokyo experience significant activity at the beginning and the end of their trading sessions, often coinciding with the top of the hour. Then number 3, you have scheduled economic reports. Those are news. Many economic reports and data releases, which can significantly influence trading decisions, are published at the top of the hour, including critical information like U.S. employment data and interest rates announcements. And number 4, we have Forex market activity. And currency trading activity typically peaks at the top of the hour due to the overlap between key market sessions, particularly between London, New York. Consequently, banks and institutional traders strategically align their trading activities with these time frames to optimize their performance. You have an overlap between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. An overlap of London and New York session opening bell is right in here between 9 and 10. I like to trade a little bit after this because the spreads are very high. You're going to get a lot of volume. You're going to get a lot of whipsaw activity depending on what's going on in the market. So if you want to be very conservative, I mean, if you risk it, you can trade opening bell. We're going to go over that in a second. We're going to pull up the chart. I'm going to show everything in real time in a second. But after 11, notice 11 o'clock, London session closes. That's the end of the London session trading day. Their banks are closing. Our banking system, if you're trading in the institutional markets and you've been working since 8 a.m., 9 times out of 10, you may get a break, a lunch break between 11 and 12, right? So in between that time, you might see accumulation starting or distribution activity going on. And after the break, between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., they call it the power hour, the ending of the day, you're going to get another surge because once your institutional markets from the New York session come off a break at around 12 noon, 1 p.m., you're going to notice they're going to start mitigating their orders so they can close for the day, and you're going to get another surge of volume. But in this case, in this time, the spreads are not as large or not as big as they would be in opening bell. So if you're scared of opening bell, just wait until after 10 or 11 when the margins go down, and then you will be able to catch some volume for the end of day power hour move. Now, the new ultimate scalper strategy consists of multiple components, right? You have the three main components is your session key. Your session key is going to be the tool that will give you the zone at the top of every hour. So depending on when you trade, right now it's 9:56 a.m. If I wanted to trade, I will not trade at 9:56 a.m. I will wait till the top of the hour at 10 o'clock a.m. Session key is going to give me the zone. Once we find the zone, then we move on to our multiple confirmations. So the session key will give you a break of the zone. The Bogan effect is going to either show oversold or overbought conditions, and then it's going to overall give you a trend based on the range filter and the SHA. And then the entry optimizer is going to confirm the break of structure and the new trend, depending on what direction you're going in. All right, so confirmation number one. Here is your session key zone. Now I have the template for my chart saved at the end of the template or at the end of this PDF. So you can just simply click on the link and you can get the template. But we're going to break down each tool one by one. That way you can see each tool in effect. Each tool can't necessarily stand alone. Not saying that you can't use these tools by themselves, but to have the optimal trade opportunity, you want to make sure that all of your confirmations line up. If we have 3 confirmations and all of 3 of them line up, you can take the trade with confidence. Now, if you have 2 out of 3 confirmations, you can still take the trade, but you are taking it at your own risk. You want to make sure that you have full confidence and full confirmations that the trade is going to go in your direction. So you have the session key zone, right? Notice this little squiggly line. I'm going to pull this up on the chart real time so we can see it. And I'm going to show you the power of these tools as people are coming in. Shout out to you guys that are still coming in. If you didn't catch it at the beginning, I'm going to make sure that the recording will be posted in the group. So you have the session key. So if you're pulling up the session key, this session key zone can be changed every hour at the top of the hour. Notice here, it is very squiggly. It is finding the zone. We're on the 5-minute chart, right? So once it finds the zone at 10:05 or 10:01, whatever time this was, the zone does not repaint. The zone does not change. This zone will stay the same. Notice we have a break of the zone. We got a buy. Here's your entry right here, your orange line. Session key will give you your entry, your stop loss, take profit 1, 2, and 3, which can be changed in the settings. We're going to get to that once we pull up the chart. But what you want to look for is a break of the zone, a break and a close above the zone. The signal gave a buy, right? Usually, you do not want to chase the market. So if the market is already breaking a zone, you want to see confirmation like this, a pullback to the zone. This is a perfect retest opportunity. So if you notice price breaks above a zone, right, an important zone like the session key zone, and the market comes back into the zone but does not break below, and then it breaks above the zone again, this buy signal is valid. You can take the trade with confidence and it continue to go into profit. This is a 5-minute chart. When we are trading futures, you do not have to stay in these markets long. Take profit 1, it's probably a couple $100. Take profit 2, it's probably $500. You're done in an hour with this trade. And this is just based off of the session key. Now let's keep going. Break and close above the zone, you buy, stop loss below the zone. Confirmation number 2. You have your range filter and you have your TDI for your bullish momentum. So if you notice that your range filter is crossing above, it is currently below the trend, it crosses above your range, it gives you the buy, that is confirmation number 2. You also check to see if you're getting bullish momentum from the TDI or you're getting a cross from the EMA crossing over your signal line, then that's bullish confirmation that is going into an uptrend. You have confirmation number 2 following confirmation number 1. Confirmation number 3 will be your entry optimizer. Your entry optimizer has an average true range. Once it breaks your average true range, it will give you a signal. In some cases, when it breaks the average true range, you will see this pullback. This pullback, we're going to get to in a second, was the session key break, session key back into the zone. And if you are buying, you notice that you're above the green line, you're in bias territory. So the entry optimizer is to confirm the trend. If you are in a trade, or if you're trying to take the trade and you're trying to figure out whether you should take a buy or a sell, look at the entry optimizer. If it is in bias territory, you're looking for buy opportunities. If it's in seller's territory, you only look for sell opportunities. So if the session key, let's go to it. Let's go to it. Stop loss will be below. So as your ATR moves up for your entry optimizer, if you're already in this buy, you can move your stop loss. As your ATR moves higher, your stop loss moves higher right along with it. That way, you know that you can hold the trade as long as possible. Some people get scared when moves like this happen and moves like this happen. They are closed out in profit, but they missed much more profit. This tool is going to erase all of the headache. You just simply, as the ATR moves up, you simply put your stop loss. When it goes sideways, stop loss here, sideways, stop loss there, sideways, stop loss, all the way up, and you caught the entire trend instead of getting scared and getting chased out of the market when you get a pullback. This can give you the confidence to stay in the trade. Now, the full buy setup. This is all of the tools put together. You have your session key right here, your session key zone. It gave you a buy right in this area. Entry optimizer also confirmed the trend. You have the range filter breaking above your SHA. Your bullish cross, you have shown bullish divergence right here. You can notice price is going down, but your TDI is going up. That is called divergence. You're going to see a reversal very soon. You have the ultimate cross, so you have all confirmations lining up. So when you're getting all of these buys, it's 1, 2, 3. I think it's 3 buys. You got your bullish and you got your cross. These are your 4 confirmations to get into the trade. Here's your entry. This orange line is your entry. Notice it did come back to the zone once, broke, came back to the entry, and then it took off for the rest of the day. I believe this was yesterday too. We're going to get to that in a second. So your confirmations, did price break out of the session key? Yes, it did. Broke out of the session key. Got a session key buy. Second, is the SHA and the range filter in a buy? Here's your buy right here. It's above your SHA. It's above the session key. Confirmation number 2, check. Did price break the entry optimizer trend? Now, at first, here, you got your buy from the session key. You got your buy from the range filter. You did not get the buy from the entry optimizer yet. So this is only 2 out of 3 or 4 confirmations. You could have taken the trade early, but it would be at your own risk. Would it have worked out for you? It did. But the entry optimizer did not join the party yet. Once the entry optimizer joins the party, that's when you know you're officially now breaking the downtrend, because notice we're in red. You don't want to buy until you're in buyer's territory. You don't want to chase or force or fight against the trend. As they say, the trend is your friend. So when you get the final buy from the entry optimizer, now you're checking all confirmations. Are we still above SMA? Yes, we are. Are we still above the session key? Yes, we are. Are we in bullish formation? We are. We're getting the cross on the TDI. And now the ultimate scalper is starting to cross into buyer's territory as well. Now, since you have all 4, take the trade. Where's your stop loss? You can utilize multiple things for your stop loss. You can either utilize the SHA, which may take you out, right? But it is a closer stop loss. Once you're riding it, you can use the SHA. You can utilize the session key zone. So if it's above the zone, I put my stop loss below the zone. If it's already above the zone, I don't expect it to come below the zone. I'm expecting it to at least hit take profit 1 or 2 so I can close out in profit. So if I'm above the zone, my stop loss is below the zone. Now, as it moves further into profit, notice the entry optimizer is starting to move further into profit. Now you can take your stop loss and start to move it into profit as it's moving forward. Now, as the entry optimizer is getting closer to your SHA, you can go ahead and put your stop loss at the SHA. Notice these candles are going higher and higher. So I'm putting my stop loss at the end of each candle as it's moving higher and higher. I'm just moving my stop loss, and then you get taken out right here in that area. Now, for the sales, basically the same thing. It's just backwards or a reversal. Confirmation session key. You got your squiggly. Zone is created. Once the zone is created, it never changes for 24 hours unless you actually change the zone at the top of the hour. I'm going to show you that when we get to the charts. So you get your sell. You got your sell signal. Confirmation number 1. You want to make sure it breaks and closes. I know a lot of people want to get anxious They're in the middle of this 5-minute candle and they see it breaking, and then it comes back and closes inside the zone. You want to make sure the candle breaks and closes outside of the zone. That way, you know it's an official break. Because sometimes in a 5-minute candle, first 3 minutes, it may break. And then the second 2 minutes or the last 2 minutes, it'll pull back in the zone. And then being that you saw it in the first 3 minutes, you got stuck in the trap. You don't want to get stuck in the bear's trap. So when you get the break and close, that's when you know it's an official break. You can go ahead and take the sell. But of course, we're not utilizing just one tool. We are utilizing multiple tools. Now, if you're utilizing the tool and you're taking the sell, stop loss is always going to be given for you above the zone. You got to take profit 1, 2, and 3. The session key will also give you your parameters. Confirmation number 2, your range filter and a bearish market. Right, so you have your bearish market in divergence. Look at the price going up, but the TDI is facing down, starting to go down. You're noticing divergence. You're getting the sell from the range filter. This is your second confirmation. And then your third confirmation, entry optimizer officially breaks the ATR. You're officially now in seller territory. Here is where you will take the sell, 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. You're done. That's the trade right there. The conservative trade for all 3 is right here. Now, if you had caught the sell early, session key gave it here. Range filter gave it even earlier. Entry optimizer confirmed here. Here's your range filter sell. Here's your session key sell. Here's the confirmation. You get into the trade, 15 minutes, you're done. You're done right there. That's the trade. That's the conservative optimal trade right there, those 4 candles. Now, if you want to wait, you can catch the range filter sell. You can catch the session key sell. You're going to go through a little bit of this because it hasn't broken the ATR yet. Once it breaks the ATR, that you're clean as day in seller's territory. If you got an early, higher risk, optimal trade, wait for all 3 confirmations to line up. That way you don't have no headache. Where's your stop loss? Above the ATR or above the range filter as it goes further and further in the profit. Right here, you get stopped out. Here's your buy. See, you got to sell. Here's your buy. Here, you're selling. When you see the buy, get out the trade. Get out the trade. We're trying to make it as easy as possible so you guys don't have to totally focus on the headache of trying to mark up the charts. I know that marking me, I personally, I love marking up the charts, but some people, they don't have the time or they may not have the experience to do so. So these tools are going to take a lot of the headache, a lot of stress and pressure off of your shoulders so that you can make the right decisions. So the sell confirmations, here's the full sell setup. You got your session key loaded. You got the sell from the session key, bam. You got the sell from the entry optimizer coming later here. That's the full trade right there. You got your sell from the, I mean, this is a beautiful setup. It's a beautiful setup. Bearish cross, you're in going into bearish territory, you get your cross, you got your divergence, price is going up, but TDI is going down. Ultimate cross right here, right in this area. Perfect time to take the trade outside the zone. Stop loss above the zone. Once it breaks the ATR, stop loss, you're utilizing your SHA all the way down, and then you get stopped out at the bottom. It's a beautiful trade. Beautiful trade. Now, this is basically for the rest of this, we're going through the settings. So we're not going to spend too much time on that because I want to pull up the chart. I do not want to hold you guys for too much longer. And we might be able to catch, depending on how long this training is, we might be able to catch a trade too. How about that? All right, so this is the settings for the Asian session. So the Asian session, we have 3 main sessions, like we said at the top. You got your 3 main sessions. Well, I just did that. But since I'm up here, you got your 3 main sessions. You got your Asian, Sydney, Tokyo. Then you got your London. Then you got your New York. Asian session is called the slow market. Shout out to Top Step. They do Top Step TV live every single day, all through the day. And they have what's called slow markets with Dakota and a couple other of their traders that they pull up on Top Step TV. Shout out to them. But the Asian session is usually the slowest session of the day. It's the accumulation phase. And it's when a lot of the markets are accumulating for a larger move when the London session or the New York session opens. So a lot of the times you're going to get a lot of this small moves in the market. And it's a headache because you might get caught in the trap. Why get caught in the trap when you already know there's a zone being created? You wait for the zone. Agent session, you're getting a zone. Opening hour is 17. That is 7 o'clock. 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know it can be a little confusing at first, but when we pull up the chart, you're going to see how to finagle with the opening hour so that you can find your zone. So your Asian session gives you a zone. Your London session will be opening hour 2. It gives you a zone. Your New York session is opening hour 7. It gives you a zone. Now notice here on the New York session, at opening bell, you got to sell, but then eventually after the sale, you got to buy. These zones, we're going to pull up the live chart. I'm going to show you how powerful these zones actually are. So you can utilize either the flow, I call it the floating session key, to where you're just changing your opening hour, or you can add the session key on your chart multiple times. That way you can have multiple sessions on the chart at the same time, because in some cases, you're going to get a beautiful trading day like this, where the Asian session key is going to give you a sell. The golden key, we're going to go over that briefly. That's the same as the session key. It's just only one time period, and it's strictly for gold. So we're not going to spend too much time on that. So you got your Asian sale, you got your golden key sale, London session sale, New York session sale, then he eventually went into a buy, and then it came back to the Aries to mitigate the orders. So these sessions can be very powerful if you understand why the zones are very important. So here goes your session key, golden key, and entry optimizer. If you have a whole bunch of colors on your chart, things like that. Oh, snap. I forgot to upgrade you guys. So this Zoom meeting is going to end in 10 minutes. I'm going to conclude it with the PDF. Then I'm going to do another video that'll go over the actual chart live. I'm kind of glad it did like that. That way we can break it up and it's not all in one. So I'm going to stop this Zoom in a little bit, and then we're going to resume. I'm going to send another link in the chat. We're going to resume, and we're going to go over it live on the chart. So if you have a whole bunch of colors in your chart, all you have to do is just go through the settings, go into style, take off all of these plots, and all you really want is just your entry. Take profit 1, 2, and 3 in your stop loss. Take off the plot background so you don't have the colored backgrounds, and all you can see is the candles. These are all of the things that we trade in futures. You got your minis, RTY, that's Russell 2000. And for those that do not know, this is the lower indice. So if you want to trade an indice like ES, NASDAQ, or US 30, Russell is the more conservative one to trade. I'm telling you, you guys are going to fall in love with RTY. Because these YM, NQ, and ES, depending on how many contracts you take, it can make and break your day. You may take 2 losing trades and be done for the day. So if you want to live to trade another day, you move to RTY. Or if you do want to trade the other indices, just simply trade the micro. It is less stressful. It may take you a little longer to pass, but I'm telling you, it is less stressful. Instead of losing $500 on ES, you lose 50. So it's less stressful. Then you have your currencies. Some of you may not know that you can trade currencies as well. You got your Australian dollar, your Great British dollar, New Zealand dollar, your Canadian dollar, and the Japanese yen. You can trade these in futures as well, as long as with crypto. So we're going to go ahead and conclude this. We're going to go ahead and conclude this, and I'm going to send you guys the link. That way we can go live on the charts, and then we'll have the video. Instead of having one long video, the video actually be broken up into 2. So shout out to Zoom for cutting this off right on time. So if you guys are on the Zoom, if you got in late, all we did was we went over the actual top of the hour trading plan PDF. The PDF is in the group, so you guys will have it. You got a nice little trading checklist. You got the trading hour, trading strategy, why the top of the hour, every hour is very important. And then it goes over your confirmations in the PDF. And the next video that we do, we're going to go over it actual live on the chart. Hopefully, you guys have more time. I'm going to send the link in the group. Do you guys have any other questions before we end this live? Your dream is to... Y'all good? Y'all good? Here, any doubt.
We will make that.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this live, and then we're gonna get started. Send a new link, and we're gonna get started on the live chart shortly. See you guys in a minute.
Accomplish things that were